Okay, so with 1.1 coming out, Remit Cup, we are going to be able to start pulling for Melania as well as Pickles. Both of them are really strong characters, but at the same time, I don't think for F2P characters you can afford to be pulling for them. But of course, this is just my opinion, so if you want to pull for them, then go ahead. But I'm going to talk about why I am not going to be pulling for Melania. So for Melania, right, she is a really strong single target ult spamming DPS. If you look at her kit, you pretty much have this passive here, Fixed Plan, and every time you get Fixed Plan, your ultimate power increases by 12%, stackable up to 6 times. And when you I3 her, you will also be getting another stack of Fixed Plan, letting you stack this twice as fast, and you'll be able to get to the maximum of 6 really quickly. The problem with her is that she is a very action-hungry character. Pretty much, if you look at the ult, right, it is very good scaling, and it also inflicts one stack of Thief Master on the caster. What this means is that your next incantation is enhanced, very similar to Pickles, where you get a status and you buff your next move. So the next move you do, you pretty much get this extra line here. You can steal one extra Moxie from the target, or you can gain one extra Moxie from the target. So this line here really helps to speed up your Moxie gain, and as much as possible you should try to get higher stars of exploit opening so that you can minus Moxie for the target, and at 3 star you also gain one more Moxie for yourself. So because of all of that, this character is really just focused on getting that ult as fast as possible so that that ult can buff your Moxie generation for your next ult, and every time you ult, your next ultimate will do more damage. That's a lot of ults. So this character is pretty much shoehorned into a playstyle where you must spam all of your moves to get as much ult charge as possible so that you can keep spamming this and do more and more single target damage. The thing about this character is that in terms of other beasts, I am going to be saving up for Shamane as my probably scuffed slash my versatile DPS in a way. He's mostly a support from what I can see, but he actually does a crap ton of damage anyway. I think supports in this game are usually sub DPSs, so I'm going to use him as my main DPS, and I think that should be fine actually. Because if you look at Shamane, he's pretty much a very synergistic character, and he also provides the debuffs that he needs to do more damage. So if you look at Spirit Medium, he inflicts damage taken, reality, and mental defense. So very versatile. You can slap him into any team and he will be supporting them very well. And then if you look at his Insight 1, he gets 8% extra damage for each stat down status on the target when you attack. And upon entering combat, you also gain 2 stacks of Nature's Blessing. Nature's Blessing lets you refund your ult whenever you use your ult. So this is a very powerful mechanic. And at I3, he even starts gaining it every 2 turns, allowing him to ult even more. So when you go to his ult is extremely powerful because it does 250 to all, which is a really bad scaling. But then you look here and then you realize its crit rate increased by 20% on the main target, and the main target takes 250% extra damage, which means it's a 500% reality damage to one target with 20% crit chance, and then 250% to all the rest of the enemies. So that is really strong. And then you will be getting refunded due to Nature's Blessing, which lets you charge this up even faster. And then you can also use Apprentice's Dance here, the tier 2 onwards, in order to charge up more layers of your Nature's Blessing. So this character is overall just a very good debuffer, good damage, and very good damage here in AoE because of this mass attack as well as single target damage, because he's mostly focusing on one with 500% reality. So I just treat this character kind of like Cornbloom, a little bit on crack and more versatile, but Cornbloom is still really powerful. So that is saying a lot about this character. So because of that, right, I'm probably not going to be pulling for Melania. I'm probably going to be pulling for Shamane. And of course, if a random Centurion were to drop into my lap, I'm not going to say no, because Centurion is a very powerful character that just scales based on Moxie, and you can use her as an ult spammer that gives you a bunch of HP back every time you do it, like an Eternity kind of. Or you can use it as a single target DPS where you just stack up your Moxie and you spam Victorious General to get that benefit from the Moxie that you're owning to do even more reality damage. So very powerful DPS, very versatile, not shoehorned into any one playstyle at all. Melania, single target only. Centurion, whatever she wants to do. Single target, AoE, who gives a shit? She literally does it all. So if you have Centurion, you definitely don't need to pull for this character. Especially when you consider that the Centurion is probably just barely I3 and can still level up even more, or you have other characters to go and I3 because we're quite early in the game. So because of that, right, I am probably not going to be pulling for Melania. I put her as a luxury unit in my personal list here. So a lot of these other units here I need to save up for. I definitely need Shamane, and I definitely want to try to get a Centurion if a banner were to pop up. Because the unfortunate part for Centurion is that she doesn't really get a rate up banner. So it's a bit hard to get her even though I really, really want her. Oh man, it kind of sucks. Alright. But yeah, besides that, I don't really have much to talk about. Oh, wait, one more. There is one more reason why you might want to get Melania, and it's because the event will give you all of the resources required to inside tree her. If you look at the resources required, I pretty much calculated the Shapodanti count is 540k. And if you were to add all of this is about 258k Shapodanti. So because of that, right, you actually have enough left over to go and somewhat I3 someone else. So with this amount here, you should be able to just I3 her immediately. So Shapodanti is fine. And then you also get Murmurs of Insanity and Fruits of Good and Evil 3 and 8 from the event, which means you get 3 here and 8 here. So that is really, really convenient that you just get this. And then furthermore, the side cube here, right, Luxurious Leisure, is pretty much built for her, because every time the caster casts a single target ult, the damage dealt increases by 5%, stacking up to 3 times, and ult damage is getting buffed by this side cube. I can't believe they're giving us a 6-star side cube for kind of free, basically, from this event. So this is just really, really built for Melania, and if you are going to pull Melania, they're just giving you all the materials you would need to go and get her buffed. So this is just a really, really good reason to get Melania if you really need that beast DPS to be online as early as possible. So in my opinion, I am not in any rush to go and be building my beast team up at all. I'm just going to probably brute force my way through with my current team of Eternity, Cornbloom, Sonetta, Decay, and then Last Source and Eagle. I'm just going to use those 2 characters as well as these 4 in order to brute force a lot of my content, and I think I should be able to, because Eternity very good sustain, and then Cornbloom is pretty much a secondary DPS, and Decay is also a pretty good beast DPS. Not as good as, like, you know, all of those other characters I talked about, but it's good enough. It's good enough in my opinion. Right, so that will be all. I've cleared up to Limbo 5 already with my budget team, and I'm going to try to clear 6 and 7 later on, but pretty much for Melania, I don't think she's going to be a very high priority unit in my opinion. But the upsides for her is that this event is literally giving her all the mats she will ever need to evolve. If you were to look at the other also, I forgot to talk about the like I2, I1. You also need Mill, Magnesia, Holy Silver, Esoteric Bones, and Trembling Tooth. And if you look at the event, you are getting the Magnesia, the Holy Silver, the Trembling Tooth, and the whatever. Pretty much all of the items you need are here. So very good argument for Melania. If you need it right now, you can get her right now. You just farm the event. So yeah. Right, so that is it for my thoughts on Melania. I think that she's a very good DPS. Okay, there's no bad DPSs, right? If you're a 6-star, you're probably a very good DPS. It's just that if the content is not catered for you, you will probably fall off. But if it is catered to you, you will probably pop off. Which is why Melania is probably going to pop off in the next one because of Limbo being catered to Beast or something like that. So she will probably be a very, very good DPS. And if you are a F2P player, I don't think you should get her unless you really, really want a Beast DPS. Because at least you'll be able to build her immediately. Right, so that is all my thoughts. I'm personally not going to do it because I want Shamane and a Copium Centurion to fall into my hands. Alright, so that is it. Hopefully this helped you a little bit on your decision making. If you're going to pull, go ahead. And if you're not going to pull, then yeah, you can go and save up for Shamane, Changeling, and 2 Fairy in the future. Alright, so that is it for this video. Hope it helped you a little bit, and goodbye.